Before I say anything, I want to show respect to Emmanuel Stewart, a boxing legend. The guy was a great trainer. A lot of people don't know who Emmanuel Stewart is. Many people only know him from training the clinch codes. The guy has trained Lennox Lewis, Hearns, and a slew of other great and good fighters. The guy was a living legend. He would truly be missed. His insight, and his knowledge of boxing. It was a great loss for boxing. I think people really don't understand that Emmanuel Stewart had the great ability to make you know average fighters good and good fighters great. He had the ability. He the thing about Emmanuel Stewart was when he trained a fighter, a seasoned fighter that already that had amateur experience and may have trained under another trainer. Emmanuel Stewart would come in and he would say, you know what? I don't want to change anything that you're doing. No, you keep fighting the way you fight, but let's add some things. So that's what he would do. He would just, he say, yeah, you throw the right that way, you jab that way, you keep doing it that way. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna, add some things to your arsenal instead of trying to show you something else that's gonna take away from that fighter's style. The guy, and he was also a good pacer. He helped fighters to slow down. So I just, slow themselves down so they won't punch themselves out and things like that. I just want to give my respect to Emmanuel Stewart. He will be lost. He will be missed. As for his fighter tonight, Jonathan Banks, he shows you that experience do matter. Seth Mitchell came in there with Seth Mitchell had all of the advantage. Everyone he came in with being favored or whatever. He had the strength. He had the power. He was favored heavily to win this fight. But experience, experience, experience. If Seth Mitchell, if someone could have gotten to Seth Mitchell before he became a football player, if somebody could have got to Seth Mitchell at the age of 8 or 9 and say, "Hey, how about boxing?" And that's what that's the reason why boxing is in the state it is right now. All of the top athletes, all the top boxing athletes right now is in football or in basketball. You know, all the top guys are in football and basketball. That's who's sucking up all of the good big athletes. That's why you don't have no good fighters that's going to challenge the clinch codes that come out of the United States. Um, I think before there's any good fighter that may come out of the United States, the clinch codes may be retiring. I think the clinch codes may retire on top. I really see it happening. Um, as for Jonathan Banks, I always love the guy with the experience, the veteran. You know, he was. We saw it in the first round what Jonathan Banks was doing. He was setting up for the counter punch. Mitchell went in there, leaving himself wide open in the second round, and he got caught. It was that simple. It's not that Jonathan Banks is a superior athlete or some great tactician or had some great strategy. He just, like he said, he just countered the hell out of Seth Mitchell because Seth Mitchell don't have a lot of experience. I don't think that I think who has the best style against the clinch codes is a Seth Mitchell. I think Jonathan Banks' counter punching style, his defensive style is going to play against him if he fights Vladimir Klitschko. I know they say he trained Vladimir for his last fight, and he also spar with Vladimir Klitschko or whatever. Well, people may think, hey, he knows some inside stuff about Vladimir Klitschko, but I'm telling you, sparring and the real thing is two different things. And if he get in there with that, counter style and that non-aggressive style, what's going to happen is Klitschko is going to jab and jab and jab. He's going to keep Jonathan Banks at the end of that jab, and then he's going to clean him up with his power punches. And Klitschko do that with everybody. I think if Seth Mitchell had a won tonight, I think Seth Mitchell, much more aggressive style in his power, gives him a better chance of beating Vladimir Klitschko. I'm not saying that Seth Mitchell was going to beat Vladimir Klitschko, because it wasn't going to happen. Okay, if Jonathan Banks can counter punch can counterpunch a much bigger fighter in Seth Mitchell, believe you me, Vladimir Klitschko has the skill to counterpunch Seth Mitchell. But what I'm saying is, Seth Mitchell's style is much more a better aggressive style to fight a guy like a Vladimir Klitschko, because only thing it takes is one punch and you might have a new heavyweight champion or whatever, but at the end of the day, you know, Seth Mitchell maybe had a 60. I mean, maybe that's too high, and really, maybe a 40% chance of beating Vladimir Klitschko, and I think maybe Jonathan Banks got a 30% chance. I mean, regardless of who it is, Klitschko is gonna crush Jonathan Banks or Seth Mitchell, so it doesn't matter. All good luck to Jonathan Banks. Good thing. I'm glad to see the veteran. We actually see a veteran heavyweight boxer that actually has some amateur experience or whatever. As for Seth Mitchell, keep going back to the drawing board. But I really don't see him being no real top contender in boxing. I just don't see it. I mean, the only one have been able to start late in boxing and really do anything with it, and it still amazed me to this degree, is that's Sergio Martinez, and that's at a much smaller weight. But congratulations to Jonathan Banks, and I hope to see the guy again. I just don't want to see him against Klitschko, because he's going to get killed. If you like this video, keep coming back. I will be making more. Peace.